Yo, what's going on, everyone? Lucky Cheese 7 is back again after what's it been now, like 2 months? I got a thing on this. Wait. If we're not counting Blue side of things, yeah, shout out to Blue Star, by the way. Um, if we're not counting his end of things, which I did show up on the My Hero chapter review, on this channel specifically, I haven't been here for a few months, and I've had a lot of stuff going on in life, to be perfectly frank with you, which is why there's been like a huge drought in content on my end of things. Because I made a whole commitment in 20, like in the beginning of the year, that okay, this would be the year that I make a big, massive comeback, only to then. This is something I don't want to delve into too much, but I went through like a life changing experience, if you will. And it kind of set my course off just a little bit. It set me off on a course to where I just needed to recharge myself, and get back to where I needed to be before I felt ready to come back to YouTube. And, I felt like this especially, is something I just really, really wanted to talk about. And, you know, a chat. I don't know if you're watching this. I mean, I did kind of tell you that, hey, there was going to be a big surprise for you. And it was just going to be this a big discussion, slash review on Kaka or Keika, or no, Kaika Saisei. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Chat, if you are listening to this and you're just like Lucky Chi, you are butchering the pronunciation, please tell me that it's actually like it's Kaika Saisei or or something, because the last thing I want to do is butcher the pronunciation of what the title is, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people will kind of feel the same way. I know I certainly do. So the question a lot of y'all are probably asking is, what is Kaika Sensei? And needless to say, it's kind of like a fan project, if you will, like a fan comic. That's done by one of my oldest and dearest friends in the Naruto fandom, Chatte Georgiana. And before this even, became like a fan comic, I know Chad had written a few chapters. I think she's a little bit more ahead of like than what we currently have. But I remember reading like the first few chapters, and I remember talking with her about like some of the stuff that I like and how kind of inspiring it was for me to kind of jump onto creating my own little project, which I need to get back into. Um, but I remember just, like having like a few discussions now and then, because I know how busy life was just on both of our ends. But just the whole concept of it being around Sakura, who was, personally, one of my favorite female characters, probably one of the most underrated female characters in shonen history, especially considering with how she got treated. Oh my god, like if there's one thing about the Naruto ending that I still despise to this day, it's how Sakura was treated. Like, y'all have no idea. Like, coming off from the end of 2014, the end of the Naruto series, like, everything that I had loved about Sakura, I'm not gonna say it went down the drain immediately, but it was like an over the time process where I was just like, man, like, what happened? And, reading this in written format was one thing. Like, what's the terminology I want to use here? Like in novel form. Well, let's say it like that. Reading it in novel form was one thing, and it did rejuvenate a spark in me when it came to Naruto. Actually, seeing it in visual form, though, oh my god, like that hit me on more than a lot of occasions. And before I actually get to that, I just realized I have not even shared this on on my social media sites. So give me just one quick second because I'm going off raw on this. So man, no, but see that's how excited I was to talk about this. To where I was like, I didn't even do like a proper setup or everything. I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna be talking about this. Anyway, give me just one quick second, you guys. But yeah, no, like I will say like while I'm sharing this off on social media, I know there was this whole big controversy, not a controversy per se, but I know there was like this huge backlash against chat when it came to, oh, like you can't post this, like it's copyright infringement. When clearly you can see in the corner that okay, none of this stuff belongs to chat. It was, the original story and stuff is by Kishimoto. Masashi Kishimoto to be more specific, because there is also Seishi. Um, that being said, and I remember I was just sitting there going, like, guys, what are y'all doing? Like, okay, look, shipping preferences aside, because I know people want to bring up, like, oh my god, like, I cannot believe a Narusaku fan is doing this. Let me remind you guys that I'm also a Narusaku fan. I am. I may not be like, it might not like be as high as it once was, but you can't sit here and tell that y'all are just gonna go against this just because we're gonna be dealing with Narusaku, you know, content. Like to me, I'm sorry. That's I don't know. Like I remember when that whole thing went down, I was kind of talking with Chad about it, and the thing I was going on was like, what the hell is going on with this? Like, it was bad enough when the ending happened, but like, guys, we're like near 10 years removed. I think the fandom as a whole just needs to grow up, in my personal opinion. Because just seeing this, like, oh no, we can't have this because, like, it's representing Narusaku. In my opinion, is just petty. It's just straight up petty. Like, why? Why exactly does this need to be a thing? You know, it's stupid. To say the very least. But F. I'm sorry, guys. I'm fumbling on my words for this post that I'm doing. And I'm like, what are we in right now? Like we're near like 8 minutes in, and I'm barely like I'm barely like even getting to like the actual content of the chapter. To be perfectly honest here. Um, let me see here real quick. There we go. This is much better. On her passion. There we go. Much better. That is so much better. And let me just see if I can get this thing to pop up on here. And yeah, there we go. Hashtag. I don't know if this is gonna hash. I don't know if we're gonna get like a trending hashtag here. If we do, you're welcome, Chad. I just want to say that right now. You're welcome on if I actually get this thing like trending worldwide on some AOT no Requiem shit. Which I do want to say for anyone who's wondering, okay, Lucky Chi, why are you tackling a Naruto fan project instead of like an actual like official thing? It's not the first time I've actually done one of these, and I think I've said that before too. Um, like in the very beginning of this, when it came down to the ending of Naruto, I remember I checked out Lady JT's after the war ending, and let me just tell you that that still gets me to this day. Like, oh my god, like I love the after the war doujinshi that she made, and every time like I think about it, I'm just like, dude, that was so beautiful, and like it even got to a point where we even have like a I think like a fan film of it somewhere. It's somewhere on YouTube, but I remember I was watching and I was like, "This is actually really really cool." It's not perfect, obviously, because it's not because they were able to compile like the dub VAs in there, like lines from the anime, and again, while it's not exactly perfect from an editing standpoint, it's still pretty much like captured like how I felt, reading it, and after the war was definitely something that really resonated with me. And like I said, when I heard Chat was doing this, like actually creating, like a fan comic for Kaika Saisei, I was like, I'm curious. Like, I really am like super curious as to how it's gonna form out because let me be perfectly clear here. Writing something versus like actually having it in visual form are two completely different mediums. So how you visualize it in your head versus to how like the artwork actually plays out of the scene, it's it's actually really 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 incredible. And I think with that I can now finally go ahead and dive right into this. Like what are we like 10 minutes in? No, not even 10. We're 12 minutes in. I barely even got into the main meat of this. Let me see if I can. It's been a while since we used Premiere too. I gotta see what I gotta do. No, not even that. Shoot. Where's the background of this thing? I know, kind of ironic. Like I'm pretty good with StreamYard, and here I am right now, just going like, how exactly do you run this stuff again? Share screen. There we go. I was like, why am I struggling with this? Yeah, let's do that. Let's share screen for this, and let's keep it right there. Yeah, there we go. Much better. So, and my session timed out. So here we are, the first chapter of uh Kaika Saisei. And again, chat, if I'm butchering on how I'm pronouncing the name, please correct me because like I've said, the last thing I want to do is butcher the pronunciation. And yeah, so number one, every end is a new beginning, and I think that's a beautiful chapter title just to start this whole journey off. And you see like this nice, like beautiful cover page of Sakura, like in the center with Naruto to the right, Sasuke to the left, and I like that contrast actually, where again Naruto, with his attire, like it's all white, but the background surrounding Naruto is like dark versus Sasuke, who's wearing the cloak, and the background for him is actually white. It's in a way kind of got that nice like yin yang effect going on, if you will, and I actually told Chat this a while back when she was sharing like her artwork of Sakura, but like Sakura looks stunning as ever. She looks really, really stunning. And yeah, it's like I've been saying right here. Like, look, do you see this? For all the people out there who's in like, oh, this is copyright infringement. Like, Chat left the note right over here. It's like, hey, disclaimer: the Naruto series and its derivatives belong to Masashi Kishimoto. Kaika Saisei is a non-profit. Keep this in mind: a non-profit story inspired by the Naruto series, deviating from the original, leading to an alternate universe in AU. So think of AOT no Requiem. It's very much on the same length of that. And similar to that, of course, I'm covering that here. All rights are reserved to its, rightful owners. And I know this was originally on Manga Plus, but because of like all the stuff that was going on, like, give me 1 second. Who's calling me right now? Jeez. One quick second, guys. Okay, and sorry about that. I just got a call that hey, we got this going on, which I was like, okay, it wasn't anything big. Let me just say it wasn't anything big, but yeah, going back to a point that I was just making about this. Yeah. Oh wait, what just? This is not panning out the way I wanted to. Hold on, Chrome tab. There we go. Yeah, just like that. It is not that hard. Okay, perfect. Much better. Yeah. Where was I at on this? Oh, I'm fumbling so bad. This is horrible. Naruto series. Yeah, so very much like a like it's pretty much set in stone right there that non-profit story. Chat's not making any money off this. So all the people accusing like, oh, it's just let's just milk on Naruto. It's not like that at all. And also, I do have to give credit to the artwork too, because Chad's writing the story, and the artwork's by Ravenia. I think that's how you say it, right? Ravenia. Which, like I said, looking at like just the cover page alone is incredible. And much like with Chat on this being on her project being a non-profit story, no, I am not, doing this as an affiliation, as to like, oh, he's just doing this just to make profit. No, do y'all not know me at this point? Lucky Cheese Seven, me, this guy over here, only talks about the things that he wants to talk about on his channel. That is how it's always been for like the last decade. And if y'all still don't know that about me at this point, then and very much like if I fall out of something, I just fall out of it, and then I'll eventually get back to it. But no, I'm not doing this because I was paid to do it. I'm doing this because I want to do it. Simple as that. And like I said, non-profit. This is very much non-profit altogether from yours truly. But with that said, dude, this is bringing back so much. Like I kid you not. As I was reading this, I was freaking crying a lot. But this opens up with the sun. You see Sasuke walking off. Pretty much what I got from this, especially reading it in like book format, is it was like it was like just a little bit after 699. Like you're seeing Sakura watch Sasuke walk up into the distance. She's got the expression on her face, which that's kind of funny because it kind of reminds me of what I'm currently doing with a little project that I don't want to share just yet. But you see her, and she's thinking back to what Sasuke said, saying sorry. I want to know how the shinobi world looks to the current me, and you have nothing to do with my sense. Now, here's the thing. In the original manga, I remember I was just like, okay, Sasuke apologizing to Sakura's one thing. I didn't really have any problems with that, but Sakura just going like nothing to do with. I was like, girl, I'm like, what are you doing? But I like how we kind of got a nice little follow up to this, where she's walking off, like she's still kind of down. Obviously, you can kind of see. You see Kakashi Sensei or Sakura calling out to him, and you see Kakashi say, "Well, Sakura, I've got a lot on my plate now with this Hokage business, so I gotta roll back. Care to join me, or?" Which is where Sakura says, "You just go ahead, Sensei. I'll catch up with you later." And you see Sasuke smiling with Sakura just thinking like on my forehead. Thanks. Oh wait, I missed the panel. What was that gesture Sasuke did? Obviously, she wouldn't know what it means. The forehead poke on my forehead. Thanks. On this big forehead I've always hated. Which I love how we're bringing up like little details like that in this. But like that's the other thing that really resonated with me about this is that we're tackling elements from the original manga that were just like we knew about it, but we didn't really like expand too much on it. And this is definitely something I feel a lot of the fan base just kind of brushed over, especially since this was so early on. Like, I don't think it's ever brought up at all in part two of Sakura hitting her forehead. Like, the only time we get this reference in part one, as far as I can tell, there's two instances. It's when Naruto shapeshifted into Sasuke, which that comes back into play too here. And I want to say the flashback with Ina. I think those are the only two instances I can think of throughout the whole Naruto story where Sakura's forehead kind of comes into effect. And again, that was all part one. Because part two, I don't think we touch on that at all, which is saying a lot. Thanks. After all this time, which is actually the panel that I used um, to represent the stream, because this panel I picked specifically because it personally resonated with me the most because it kind of in a way kind of gave my own little reflection on Naruto. I'm just and like reading through this, thinking about like my whole journey with the series, and I'm just like after all this time, like I echo with Sakura on this, not necessarily for Sasuke per se, but more so just on you know this whole journey with the series. See Sakura like just patting herself on the head. You see her Byakugo seal. And speaking of things that we kind of dropped throughout the original Naruto, do y'all remember Inner Sakura? We only got a little instance of that in, I think, in just the beginning of part two. Yeah, no, 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 no. The only time we saw that in part two was like in the very beginning. I want to say when Naruto and Sakura reunite, and again, my memory is like super hazy on like Naruto. At the very least, post time skip, but I know we got it in two instances. One when it came to Sai's introduction into the series, and the other was um related to Tsunade. like about Tsunade's temper and Sakura, like just having that inner thought. I thought that was actually really, really cool. But no, like this was like a really nice treat to see. But then again, in the war, he was so cold. Like he didn't care at all about the fact that I was about to be roasted, like a chicken out in the open in Kaguya's dimension. He treated me and Kakashi Sensei so coldly. And we get this amusing panel right over here. Like I just when Sakura gets into phases like this, like I just love it. I personally like just super duper love it. You see her like like crunching her fist, and again in her Sakura, like we see right off the gate, you're back, aren't you? Gritting your teeth, him saying sorry, but then he apologized, and now he said thank you, and even touched my most hated feature. Thank you. And she's like just thinking like he can be trusted now, right? Right? Like can he? Like I love this confliction that goes on in her head. Like, wait, can he be trusted? Can he not be trusted? It's it's a nice meta commentary in a way, and I think I want to say that was the whole purpose behind Inner Soccer, and in at least part one. I want to say that, and again, it sucks that that kind of got dropped for the remainder of part two because it would have been nice to see more moments like this with Sakura throughout the course of the time skip, but you know. But you see how annoyed she is, and then Naruto touching her, on the side, and she's just kind of thinking Naruto. And well, okay, this panel right here with Sakura smiling, that was actually no joke gonna be the original thumbnail that I used for the stream. But the more I looked at this panel, I was like, it's beautiful, but I don't think it would perfectly encapsulate like how I felt about this chapter, and that's why I went with the after all this time panel. But you see how happy she is, and you see Naruto with his cheeky, goofy expression, like "Yo, Sakura-chan." You see her smile. What are you doing here? I was about to return to the village. It wasn't lo- until long ago that I departed with Sasuke-kun. And then you see, wait, is that Naruto or is that? I'm pretty sure that's yeah, it's Naruto. He's got the whiskers and everything. So you see Naruto like just looking off. There's a little bit of a sweat on his face before he starts smiling. And again, get the goofy expression, scratching the back of his head. Oh yeah, that. What about yourself, Naruto? And Naruto, he's just left a little puzzled about this. Was Sakura thinking back to again talking about dropped elements in the story? That's my promise of a lifetime. The time when he saved Sakura during the Five Kage Summit, one of probably like the only golden periods of the Five Kage Summit, if you will. As much as I despise that arc for Naruto's character, I will say him saving Sakura was really cool, even if it did take away a shining moment for her character. But I like that it's here as a reflection, and it's a good form of storytelling, if you will. And Naruto says, I too come from parting ways with Sasuke. He said he has to leave because he has some journeys to do until we'll settle things between us. It's gonna take a while until he'll get back from the looks of it. And then Sakura says, I know, and then she thinks back to again that panel where she was like, I said I wanted to come with you. And I like how she's just kind of there, just like kind of thinking, like, I even asked in the spur of the moment, what if I wanted to go with him? And he told me that I have nothing to do with this. So, like, you kinda get, like, both of their reactions in a way. Sakura feeling a little bit embarrassed of how she was in that moment because it was the spur of the situation. And then you see her looking a little gloomy, like, "He yet keeps me at a distance." And then you see her smile, seeing how it was when Sasuke first left, which was a panel I actually looked back upon yesterday. And then you see Sasuke as he was like in 699. See Sakura there, having a smile, and her just like, being in awe, just telling Naruto, you really made it possible for us to look forward to a day when we can all be together and smile. And Naruto, again, just like instantly, like that grabs his attention. You see the little bit of blush on his, like just underneath his eye, like just right over here, which is a nice attention to detail. Again, him just feeling a little embarrassed, like, I and oh my god, like this would be so much too. And I'm not gonna front with you, I did cry. I actually did cry reading this part because you had Sakura say, "Thank you, Naruto." And Naruto's there. He gives her the thumbs up. Don't worry, Sakura-chan. He's definitely going to come back home one of these days. And if he gets lost, I'm personally going to get the idiot back home to you. It's actually nice to see him, like, like have that cheeky look on his face. This is my thought. When he said this, I kind of imagined him having the same reaction he had when part two started. Like, do y'all remember when it came to the whole sexy jutsu topic with Konohamaru, how he just had like that complaining face on? I actually have pictured him having that reaction in this particular moment right here, but I guess in a way, kind of to show that hey, Naruto's grown up since the beginning of part two. Which, again, I'm not complaining. I'm just sharing that I pictured him having that expression on his face. But this is still really nice, and it does show a sense of maturity from Naruto coming up from the very first chapter of part two, so he can finally see what an amazing girl you are, which gets Sakura to blush, as we can see right over here, and how your feelings for him are so pure and strong. He's so lucky to have a guy like you caring for him and rooting for him, Sakura-chan. I don't think he understands how lucky he is. I mean, yeah, that's apparent. That is again a loss for words, like a huge loss for words, and I'm pretty sure Sakura feels the same way too with Naruto telling him all that, telling her all that. And in return, how much you deserve to receive all that care back and you held for him until now. And you can just see the look on Sakura's face. Like again, like you could just tell how moved she is by the way Naruto's talking. Wait a second. There you go. I almost lost my page there. And she's like Naruto, like as she's welling up. And Naruto says, I'm sure that all he needs is a little time to come with the terms of everything that has happened. Everything he feels, everything that he experienced up until now. And then he starts seeing Naruto falling a little down too. After all, like we both talked about, we were children starved of love. we didn't know we didn't know better. 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 I can't speak today. Neither me or him. And oh my god. If I wasn't crying before, I was definitely crying here too, because just that thumbs up, like as a callback to when he promised Sakura, like just this. But I'm positive that as soon as he finds his answers, he's coming back to you, reciprocating the beautiful feelings you harbor for him, Sakura. Oh my. Like okay, I know y'all can't see my face, but oh my, if y'all can hear my voice, I feel like I'm about to croak. And oh man, after all, he is one lucky guy. For being on the receiving end of your heart's desire, Sakura-chan, I can only hope to be that lucky, and someday I can meet a someone who and he's just thinking, which I gotta say, I love this attention to detail in the story. Like, you have Naruto just thinking, and he's watching this whole experience of like just seeing Sakura just poke Sakura on the forehead. I like that attention to detail, and you just see like how happy he is. Will feel as strongly about me as you feel about Sakura. About Sasuke. It almost sounds similar. It's hard to not get it mixed up. And again, you see that look on his face. And speaking of this scene, you surely have a large, charming forehead. Man, the feels, they hit deep, like super, super deep. Because we all know how important this scene was supposed to be. Well, we all know that. But like you see Naruto, you see Sakura, and you kind of see that sounds like a regret on his face. Which, honestly, when you think back to his conversation with Sai, it's honestly understandable. And again, just look at this. Like you see him just thinking like him just thinking like this could have been me in that moment. Like in my perfect world, I wanted it to be like this. Makes me want to kiss it. But again, I like that he's in a way, you know, showcasing a sense of maturity over here, just being like, no, not gonna do it. I'm happy for soccer. Like that to me resonates so much. And especially with how soccer reacts right now, because then you see her and her reaction. Naruto, how can you speak such beautiful words about me and Sasuke-kun? How can you be so warm? And again, you see her thinking back to what Sasuke said. Thanks. And then this beautiful scene when she hugs Naruto after the pain fight, just like, thank you. And then she says, Naruto, see a panel, like the panel of Hinata when she got injured during the pain fight. You deserve someone better than me. You deserve the world. Panel from 614? 614, 615, one of the two panels. One of the two chapters, but you deserve the world. Obviously, when she saw the moment of Hinata and Naruto holding hands against the fight against Dobito and Madara. And yeah, this was again in 699 too, the scene. When he thinks about when she heard Naruto talking, but she didn't really say anything. Someone who wouldn't put you through the things I have. Instead of me, you'd be better off with and she's like dot dot dot. Obviously she's thinking he'd be better off with Hinata. But then Naruto interrupts and says, oh, okay, there's a typo I just noticed here. So chat, I'm sorry to bring this up. My English mode just kicked in here. By the way, Sakura-chan, I'm pretty sure that there was supposed to be a the in there, so we're just putting it out there. By the way, Sakura-chan. And I catch her attention. She's like, I wanted to apologize. And Sakura's like, huh? What for? Please, let me finish first. I want to apologize to you for responding positively to my father's question. Obviously, this part right over here when it came to him telling his dad that Sakura was his girlfriend. I love this moment still to this day. I really, really do. Just that reaction. She's like, "Excuse me, we did not commit to anything." on this." Uh, it is still one of my favorite Narasaka moments to this day, though. In all honesty, this is still one of my favorites. And of course, see his eyes kind of dimming too. You know, that one where I called you my girlfriend. And then he starts thinking about his mom too, which, oh man, Kushina. And as for the woman, just try not to pick a weird one. Try to find someone like your mom, your mother. My reactions firm from my wish to make sure to listen to my late mother's wishes before her passing. I'm not laughing at that, by the way. I know it may come off as, oh, he's just laughing at that. No, it's a combination of like me just trying to, you know, just trying to relax, but also getting the feels at the same time. So it's kind of make me break a little bit. See Sakura and her just saying late mother's wishes before passing, and this reaction is priceless too. Late mother's wishes, but what wishes are those, Naruto? Which, and I don't know if chat's actually covered this yet in the novel format of Kaika, but if she has, I'm curious to see how this whole thing plays out in the future. Well, it's a more complicated story, and maybe another time. Maybe we'll talk about it some other time. But you see this, and she's still kind of just like, I'm kind of curious as to what he's talking about. I really am, but she's like, okay. And interestingly enough, we get to the famous "You lied to me" scene, of course. Which again, I like that this is a callback. I hate that this thing has to. Oh, I have to reload. Here, I'm reloading now. Had to happen while I was in the middle of a stream too. Come on. I like that this is a reflection though. I just have to say, I like that this is a reflection moment. This joke is not funny. And then Sakura says, Naruto, listen up. I thank you for your words earlier, but I do have something to apologize for. I'm sorry for what I told you in the land of iron. I'm sorry for making it seem like I was making fun of you in such dire times. Which again, I love how the original Naruto, like we just like completely brushed that aside, like that wasn't a big deal. Like I remember when I read that portion, I was like, y'all have to make up at some given point. And the fact that we didn't address that at all, I was like, come on. What was the point in that? So I love, again, giving a lot of praise for chat here on the writing, but I like that we get this reflection right here and now from Sakura's perspective. And don't lie, if we did get this moment of her just, you know, feeling bad for, doing that to Naruto, y'all know 100%. Y'all wouldn't admit it deep down. No, okay, not to do that. Y'all wouldn't admit it straight up, but deep down, y'all would know. My God, that she messed up. Y'all know for sure deep down that okay, she at least admitted that she messed up. But y'all don't want to acknowledge that. Let's be fair. Y'all don't want to acknowledge that at all about her, which is messed up in many ways. I'm sorry for making it seem like I was making fun of you in such dire times. Panel for her looking a little down. I only did it out of desperation, I guess. And speaking of another callback, sigh. Naruto really loves you. I only wanted to relieve you of the burden I put on you with that promise. Fuck. Chat, why do you have to do this to me? Why do you gotta do this to me? Because you see, back then there was no one else I trusted more than you when I asked you to bring Sasuke Kun back. Naruto, I beg you, please, please bring Sasuke back. Ugh. God damn it. Do you guys see what this is doing to me right now? Like, it's been a super long time since I felt that way about Naruto. It's been a super, super long time, and it's coming from a fan project too. But again, that shows the writing talent. Much like with AOT no Requiem, it shows the talent and just the writing itself. I I couldn't even trust Kakashi Sensei because it wasn't the first time when he told me. It's alright. Soon things will be back to the way they used to be. Obviously that part was Kakashi, but then Sakura says, things were going to be alright without them truly being, but with you, with you it was different. I trusted you completely. And so I put that burden on you. And again, chat, you want to mess with me even more with the five Kage Summit without thinking of how it would affect you. And for that, I'm truly sorry. I'm on this panel of Sakura breaking down too. Holy shit. Then, out of desperation, to fix that and lift that burden and make sure you're safe. And yet again, I wronged you without a second thought of how I was to execute. I'm gonna assume, yeah, how I was to execute such a move. And then, of course, the glaring evil panel of Sasuke. I guess I was just desperate to bring you back to Konoha with everything else that was happening. Sasuke Kun going rampant, you being the vessel of the Nine Tails, and by extent, a target, was at our doorstep. Nevertheless, I was wrong for what I did, making you think I would make fun of you. And Naruto's taken aback by this. Like, you could just tell just by the expression on his face. With my declaration, and I apologize for it. I'm sorry. I'm truly like, and again, she's at a loss for words. And do you see like the look on Naruto's face, like right over here? Like, you see how he's smiling, but you could tell from his eyebrow expressions how that moved him. And he tells her like, Sakura-chan, when I told you, or when I told you, when you told me you loved me, for that brief moment, I was the happiest man in the world. And Sakura immediately refutes, like, it's not that I don't love you. But she's like, great. Like, she like this expression right here, she's like, great. And now I just opened up the can of worms again. I cannot believe I just did that. I'm pretty sure that's what was going on in Sakura's mind here. She's like, what I mean is, with what I did back then, I wanted to unburden you and let you know that you are truly loved by the whole village and by some even more. Obviously, her just thinking about Hinata when that spur of the moment that Hinata had during the pain fight when she rushed in to save Naruto. Then you see her smiling. Again, like a lot of eye shots, which I love. And I don't really think we get a lot of that. Not just in Naruto per se, but specifically like in manga per se. Like, we get them, but I don't think we get enough of them. And I love the emphasis on that because it really highlights a moment for the characters, in my opinion. Especially from a visual format too. See Naruto smiling, see Sakura smiling. And actually, to be perfectly honest here, I nearly considered making this shot here the thumbnail too. But because again, this was so Sakura centric, and again, I've only read up to like chapter 4. It's still very Sakura centric too, but I just wanted this to capsulate just on Sakura and her feelings on the matter. And my boy still over here is missing an arm, obviously. But again, love the shot here. Love the little shadow that you see here by the feet too. You already have a pure heart that feels strongly about you, Naruto. Remember how she sacrificed for you when Pain attacked our village or when Neji died, how she was there for you, next to you. You just haven't been able to truly notice these big things she does for you. And Naruto's kind of just like, Sakura-chan? By comparison, I dot dot dot. Then Naruto turns around, and it right when we were getting into the moment, we just get interrupted. And I remember reading this too, and I was kind of just like grab me by the moment, and then just go like, save the rest of it. But again, it's good storytelling right there. Yamato Taicho, how are you feeling? Because we all know how we all know how Yamato got treated. Bad for how shit that he got towards the final end of the series. Well, not bad, not terrible. Coming from certain errands, and they're both just like errands. What could those errands be? Well, that's a top mission. I'm not allowed to into divulge just like that. But enough about me. What are you two doing here? Oh, us. We were just parting ways with an old friend. You could just see both of them just kind of like being goofy, being a little embarrassed about like, oh yeah, but no, nothing like that. Yeah. Plus, we wanted to head to the Hokage office as the transitioning between Tsunade-sama and Kakashi Sensei still happens. Although Kakashi Sensei was officially taken, or has officially taken the seat since a week ago. Care to join us? Since, after all, we're all kind of heading towards the same direction, right, Captain? And the final panel we get here is them just looking over at Captain Yamato, and did we just end the chapter? Oh my god. Okay, but needless to say, we ended up the chapter right there. And I gotta say, for a first chapter, easily, in my opinion, pure perfection. I gotta say that right now. Pure perfection. That is honestly what I gotta say. When it comes to this first chapter of Kakai Saisei, and oh my god, I just realized I got some comments here too. I don't get those often. And oh, Chet, hey Chet, I'm glad to know. I'm glad to know you were watching this. And like I said, I feel bad. I feel super bad if I mispronounce the title of your project. I really do. But let's see here. Oh my god, dude, this is such a surprise. I'm glad it worked. I'm glad it worked. You know me. I like to go back full circle. And of course, there's a genuine cursed child over here. Oh, my man Blue. Or Lemon Star. Or. There's a lot of titles, but whatever. Well, I see why you wanted to delay the Ahsoka stream. Yeah, there's actually that I gotta about with Blue too. Still find that any compliment of SS to be cringe, even from Naruto, but that's just me. It's understandable, Blue. It's understandable. You have that someone, Naruto, and it's Sakura. Kiss her, Naruto. Those are memory panels, by the way. As in thinking panels. That's Chad talking. The only thing C says out loud is the Naruto part. And Blue's like holding their hands over Neji's corpse. Well, sorry, had to say it. Oops, didn't see that. No, it's all good, Blue. And in all honesty, I think it's just kind of amusing too, just to think about. Let's see here. Chat. Oops, didn't see that. You were telling the truth, Naruto. Oh, Pumi's here too. Hey, Pumi. Uh, That moment should have been proof of Narasaku Endgame, not a right hand. Thank you. And again, this whole stream for me is like also coming. It's like a coming back full circle for me too, especially given how things have things have been for me over the course of these last more so last 2 years. I want to say, but well, okay, more so last year, but the seed really started rooting towards the tail end of 2021. But that said, it's beautiful. it's I'm glad I'm like back in my right headspace. I really, really am. Because again, I was in a dark period and I just like needed to just break myself out of it. And I feel like now I'm like getting there. I really do. That moment of should have been proof of Narasaku Endgame, not a red herring. Yeah, I read that too. Chat says I haven't yet. Oh, okay. I get what you're talking about now. You're talking about when it comes to that whole topic of the forehead. Yeah, I gotcha. Because I was like, I don't know if she should tackle that yet, but I'm glad to know that I got that confirmation. And again, that makes me excited to check out again the other chapters because I know chat's written a lot more. And Blue says, I believe you, Sakura, found out about Naruto's family from Tsunade in the third chapter. Chat, chapter three is more about Sakura's lineage. Oh my bad, it was chapter two. Oh right, yeah. And again, it's been like such a long time since I've read like the novel format of this, but I do remember little inklings of that being discussed about. Chapter two is more about the Senju Uzumaki, but from Tsunade's lens. That's gonna be interesting to see in the same format as this. Ah, okay. Sorry, my bad. Because feels that way. It's okay, no worries. Yeah, you do it, Sakura. Don't deny it. How she how she was selfish, Naruto. Let's see here. Yamato comes to save the day. Yamato was done dirty. Too bad a lot of antis are trying to block the Genji, no matter where it's posted. You know what I have to say about the antis? Who gives a shit? Let me be frank here. Who gives a shit about the antis? If they want to find a way to blog it, be my guest. But in terms of me, in terms of what I love to do, in terms of trying to support chat, I'll do whatever it takes. You know, just to give her that support and recognition, like I always have. And I definitely do feel like a lot of people need to check this out. Putting their biasness aside, too. Really, like it speaks so much volumes. It does. It's okay. Most people do. Oi, you just have to use all those nicknames, don't you? Hey, would you rather I call you Mr. Wikipedia, Blue? Oh wait, that's Steve's. uh, thank you, appreciate the support. Yeah, anything I can do to help out, Chad. Anything I can do, because, like I said, you've been one of my oldest friends, and quite frankly, one of my most special friends in the Naruto fandom. It really does mean a lot. Which, oh my god, we're like at an hour in. Granted, like 10 to 12 minutes of that was like me just kind of rambling a little bit because I didn't exactly set up the stream when I needed to, like I usually do with the other stuff. But hey, when you get to something as passionate as this, obviously best to go in raw than go in, like have it like all pre-planned. Like, what's the terminology that people like to use? Like, have it phoned in instead of it feeling like it's something organic or something genuine. And that's obviously what I do is just being organic and genuine. And that is obviously a aspect of me I needed to kind of reflect back upon. Much like how Sakura was in this chapter. But yeah, Guys, we're closing in on an hour of this stream, and it's been a lot of fun. It's honestly been like just a lot of fun talking about Naruto, even if it's just for like a fan project. Honestly, this might be the way to go for Naruto for me moving forward. I know it's gonna be a lot saying that because wait, weren't you just talking about Boruto a few months ago? I gotta talk about my thoughts on that too at some point because yeah, not exactly something I'm like super proud of. But anyway, with that said, I'm so glad that I was able to do this, and I'm so glad that chat. I'm so glad that you actually were able to check that too, because I don't know if you were actually gonna get a chance to actually be here live, because you know it's what I do best, just trying to help out a friend, trying to give them as much support as I can. And whenever chapter two drops, which I'm pretty sure is in the making, you all know for damn sure I'm gonna be doing this. Um, on a I don't know week to week basis is gonna be a thing, but definitely, you know, whenever the next chapter drops, I'll be here. Obviously. Let's see what Blue says. I can only enjoy Naruto and fan projects now, unless they make an alternate universe. I would love that, Blue. I honestly would. Like the whole concept of the multiverse is something that I do like. I just think with where things are right now, I don't think we're gonna get them anytime soon. Personally, I really don't. Would I like to see? Oh hell yeah! Obviously, it would be really cool to see. But with how things are currently, like the future right now is like super slim. But eventually, g- if I were to play it in estimate, guess, let's say 20 years from now, 20, 30 years, when there's like a whole new generation of Naruto fans, I could see that. As of right now, yeah, it's it's slim right now. But with that said, see what chat has to say. We can do this in the future. Or definitely do this in the future. Oh yeah, totally. We definitely could do this. Who knows? Maybe I could do like a part two to this whole stream discussion, and maybe like actually get chat and oh my god, whoa, Raven E is here too. Yeah, maybe I could get y'all both here next time, and just get like the inner workings of things because I love, especially in storytelling, I love getting the perspective of writers and everything. I mean, Game of Thrones is one thing too. Oh, I'm sorry, A Song of Ice and Fire is one thing, which George R. Martin, what did he say? 3/4 of the way done. It's gonna be a while before we get the before we get Winds of Winter. But at this point, I'm just rambling on. Let's see here. What have Blue Star Saber? Rave, hi baby. We're gonna give your life to Ray. She made this happen. No, all my shout outs go to both of you. I give my shout outs to Chad for the writing. And again, for Rave to, bring this to light, it's incredible because like I said in the very beginning of the stream, visualizing it in your head is one thing, but actually seeing like it like drawn again is a whole different experience. And I'm pretty sure how I visualize certain moments from the other chapters, I think is going to be nothing compared to what we get moving forward with the future content, which I am super stoked for. I am like super, super stoked for in my personal opinion. And, hey, just to give a little shout out to Chad here, I'm going to display her comment right here. We could definitely do this in the future. And yeah, we definitely could do this in the future. um, Let's see what we got here. Oh, Pumi said something too. Most likely, all the YouTuber animators have various series of Naruto multiverses. There's already a lot of content like that. Yeah, I mean, like even the what was it? There's that series of video of like, what if like Naruto and Sasuke switch places, which is actually a fascinating concept, honestly. Um, I don't think that's finished yet, but I remember I came across and I was like, whoa, actually cool. But yeah, there's a lot of content like that, and oh my god, like could you if we I know there's a few videos of what's it called? Of Kaika that was animated, but could y'all imagine if we got something like this on the same length as what's it called? Yeah, even the Naruto alternate the last video got something too. Yeah, no. Even that got its own little animated project out too. I would actually kill for something like this. I would actually kill for getting something like that for this because like I'm just imagining the OST right now. Okay, and again, my mind is like off to the roof with this, which I'm pretty sure chat is probably just sitting here in the corner going like, "Yeah, Loki, that's probably a good idea." Maybe she's even thought about that too. Maybe. Oh well, I dream of commissioning small animation sprites too. I will definitely be on the lookout for that. And aside from that, guys, like I said, this like is a lot of fun. I've had so much fun just sitting back here talking about this first chapter, this big surprise that I kept for Chad. And as far as Naruto stuff goes, if you're on Twitter and you're keeping up with me, I already announced that I got a couple projects on the way for Naruto. There's one I'm saving up for tonight. Two actually. One's an announcement, and one's actually my own little Sakura one shot pick, which I'm a little nervous on because I'm just like chat's already set the bar so high, and I'm like, I feel like I could disappoint her on this. I'm like, I don't know. Could I actually succeed on that? I hope so. I really hope I can. But it's also just to showcase my love for soccer too, especially since hey, she won number one on the fights, which makes me so happy that she did. But no, honestly, at this point, I'm just like super rambling on. Oh, with the stream. Let's see here. My English is not good. Let's see here. That's okay. I mean, no English is perfect, in my personal opinion. For the moment, they're quiet. LOL, I dream of commissioning small animation sprites too. Of course I did. Chill, dude. There's a place in the sun for all of us. I know. I know. I was honestly just making a joke at that, for sure. The best Naruto fight. Yeah. I mean, personally, I personally did like the team up with Team Seven against Kaguya. A little underrated, personally, but there's a lot more that probably could have been done by that point. But I do have a few things I got to take care of here. So, unfortunately, guys, I gotta call off the stream right here. Like I said, it was a lot of fun talking about Kaika, talking about Naruto, even if it's from a fan project perspective. It was really great, having a chat with you guys in the comment section, specifically, having chat here, having Ravinia here, and of course our lovable cursed child Blue Star here. He's gonna have a go at me here soon when we do the Ahsoka stream here shortly. And again, aside from that, you guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Lucky7. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Naruto content, more like fan content in this case. And Again, need to give a huge shout out to chat and Ravina for this because I wouldn't be doing this stream, not because they told me to. In fact, they didn't even tell me to do the stream, but because I personally just, wanted to showcase my love and support for them. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see what transpires in the future. So, with that being said, you guys, I will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.